Good morning. Welcome to the classiest place on earth. I fucked my back up. I don't know how. No, I do. I shoveled snow. God damn it. Welcome to the classiest place on earth. Good morning, everybody. Apologize for late. Had to stretch. The snow, yep, I completely forgot about it. So much snow. I don't even know. Taller than my shovel. No shit. It's funny. I forgot that last year Zach bought a snowblower, which is amazing. It's like a lawnmower for snow. And so after stream, I was like, I have to go shovel this fucking step. We have very steep steps like from our house and then the sidewalk out front. And I went and shoveled almost the entire thing. And Zach gets off work and he's like, oh, babe, I'll just grab the snowblower. The what? Is music really loud? Let me turn it down. Yeah. So I really didn't even need to do this, but I definitely did it. Ouch. Fuck it. It's not even heavy. It's cold powder, but it's a lot of cold powder. I mean, 8 inches? I'm trying to think, like, literally, I took a broom and was sweeping off, that was what I did first, because I just looked at the steps and didn't realize how deep it was. And I went out with a broom and I was like, oh, this isn't it. It was taller than my broom. So whatever that is, it's a lot. It's just here now. My dad used to tell my brother while I was growing up that he didn't need to buy a snowblower because he had 2 of them. I've never in my life did I own a snowblower. Snowblowers? That's for rich people. Who has those things? I'd never owned one before, so it didn't even like click that we had one. You should, dude. This color, this is that one color that I got for the QT, which was a role-playing tabletop show placed in the 90s. And I swear to God, this color, it's called Cedar. I even remember it. Cedar. It's the only like brown red I can find that doesn't look pink. I hired a kid to paint my porch. When he came back to get paid, he goes, by the way, that was a BMW, not a Porsche. Can you fucking imagine? That's fucking glorious. I got my exercise, let me tell you, but man, my shoulder hates me today for all the exercise I did to it. My music just jumped somewhere weird. Don't do that to me. Not today. It's weird that it's going to be in the mid-40s all week. Hilariously, he bought me one. He bought me once. Wait, he bought me one once. Me and my brother moved out. He bought one once you moved. He literally replaced you with an appliance. How do you feel? I know, I did do a heat pack to it this morning, believe it or not. It's just tight. I felt it when I was doing it. When I was shoveling, literally all morning, I've just been cussing myself out like, why am I in pain? This is why. It's because of the snow. Fucking snow. It's a lot. It's a lot of snow. It finally stopped like this morning at like 7 or something. Where is my bowl? Oh my God, there it is. Yeah, weed. I need to pack. I think I need grand weed and packable. Happy Sunday. I hope your week isn't too terrible, my dudes. I'm on the path to get blazed before I have to spend time with my... Oh. Yeah, you should do that. That fucking sucks. Wait, is he going to the movie with you guys? I thought you guys were gonna go see, Princess Bride. Because, like, it sucks that he's going, but at least you're in a dark place where it's inappropriate to talk. That's the perfect place to bring people you don't want to talk to. You, like, technically have to just sit in silence. The worst part about switching browsers is remembering all my effing passwords. You are talking to the queen of fuck that shit. I get so mad at that stuff. On the plus side, her bestie from childhood's also coming with her 2 daughters so we can avoid him. Boom. Yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah, that'll be fine. Just hang out with the kids. Fuck that shit. It sucks. It's like, I'll say it all the time. Life's too short, to spend with people you don't want to spend your time with. But, like, that's so unrealistic, and we are forced to spend time with people we don't want to spend time with all the fucking time. You have to get through it. That's just life. I mean, no shit, Crispy. Yeah, you're the de facto buffer. I hope you know that. Only have 1 bowl. Oh my god, nurse it. Do you nurse your bowls like me, or do you do, like, tiny, micro, one-hit bowls? Because I found I'm pretty good at nursing. I can get a bowl to last me a pretty long time. I found a browser that's powered by solar energy and plant trees. And plants trees. Great. Now I just have to remember all my passwords to fully switch over. It doesn't... Really? Everyone thinks you're being dumb right now. Yeah, you're a bit early. Ma'am. She's such a dork. This is what she does. That's Bork o'clock. She genuinely, like, sits up, borks at some ghosts, and then sits, and she's fine. Same. Dude, Knives, I fucked my back up. I totally feel you. We're all broken today. You slept weird, so your voice is raspy? What do you mean? My voice is always raspy. Are we judging? Dude, Yeetskis, why not? I'm shocked and mildly appalled you don't already own a corset. Get on that. Like, I'm queen of putting shit off and I have 3. Come on. Take your head and push it. Oh, you like oh, fuck. That sucks. I'm sorry. I get that, Eatskis, but if you're not going for, like, I mean, are you gonna get yourself, like, a boned fucking, like, full body work? Like, full body beat? Or are you doing, like, a cutesy underbust? Because cutesy underbust, in my opinion, those are some of the cutest. They're not that pricey. Not too bad. Good morning, T. How are you, love? I forgot I left my laundry in the dryer yesterday. Oh, I hate that. Worst is when you leave it in the washer overnight and you go and you get up the next morning and you're like, oh, fuck. And you either wash it again or you take it out and smell it. And you're like, is it? Oh. That's the fucking worst. 11 p.m. Ew, you have to do an overnight? I'm sorry, that sucks. Maybe that's my problem, Knives. Maybe I squish my head down and that's why my voice is always rough. Dream, I have a weird theory. I have a theory about everything. I think too much, right? I have a theory about it. So you know how I've talked about this before, but like there's this weird phenomenon when people retire that they end up in the hospital within 6 months. It's crazy. It's a real thing. People retire and within 6 months they've got some huge medical issue they've never had before, and it's because they stop moving and they stop getting they're not as distracted. And I think in the wintertime, we all naturally slow down and we start noticing things we weren't noticing when we were moving faster when it's warmer out. I don't know for sure, but sometimes I think about that because we do slow down. That's natural. That's winter. Shoveling snow, Knives. I forgot until 2 seconds into stream and I was like, I don't know how I shoveled a bunch of snow. That's why. Last night I went to get the mail and looked out and I have these crazy ass steep steps that come down from my front door, cement steps. and then the sidewalk. And I went out with a broom looking at the steps, and I was like, oh, I'll just sweep them off, and literally plopped the broom into it, and the snow was taller than like the broom head. I was like, oh, fuck. So I shoveled it all. And this morning I woke up and I was like, oh. Why do you smell? You just rewatched. This lesson has been learned 10 times already. Yes, I'm that girl. Same. Same. I am so that girl all the time. I also don't have a lighter. No, I do. Oh my God. We're fine. Cheers. Morning, Phoenix. Oh, it's 100%. I love, honestly, Yeetskis, I could send you to so many different, like, YouTube channels of historic costumers who talk about corsetry and shit. Turn it off. I'm a big nerd. I love listening to people talk about that stuff because it's fascinating. They really need to make normal appliances. Yes. Yeah. Anything so we're not like this. That's how I destroy my back. Seriously, like, 100% yes. Cocky, what's it like to just, like, fit? Is it weird? We actually, Yeetskis, we just watched, in movie night a couple nights ago, we watched the new Nosferatu. And it was interesting because there was one part in it towards the beginning where the main girl gets sick. You know, she's starting to Nosferatu Twitter paint it or whatever. And they actually suggest they're like, you know, she needs bed rest, she needs this, she needs that, and make sure she sleeps in a corset to encourage, like, breathing or something like that. I was like, wow, times are different. I only physically fit, so my awkwardness makes up for the rest. Oh, yeah, no, 100%. I could see, yeah, no, that checks out. It's funny because whenever I see corset in modern media and literature, they conflate how men wore corsets and women wore them. And women, they were support, and men, they were cinching. I know. You're preaching to the crowd. Like, anytime someone's like, corsets were bad for people, I'm like, actually. I'd give anything for corsets to come back, because that was the real bra. Like, that was actual titty support, and spine support, and back support, and posture support. That's why I, like, literally, I get up in it, and I'm like, oh, let me send you to all these YouTube channels. You can go learn all about it. Like, there's definitely like, we actually have photographs of like, a liver with rib imprints in the liver from tight lacing. But, like, looking at tight lacing, like, that was the only way to wear a corset, is like looking at today and thinking everyone has fillers. Like, everyone has Botox, and everyone does it to that extreme of, like, am I pretty now? Like, none of us have that shit, but modern media presents it. So historically, we look at modern media and we're like, this is what everybody must have been doing, which is not what everybody was doing. Corsets and fluffy dresses, and then we get all the pockets. Did you know that originally pockets were big enough to literally hold a loaf of fucking bread? Not to bring up obvious sore subjects, but do you guys want to take a wild guess how many pockets are on my body right now? Yeah, I'm wearing 4 layers. It's 0. There are 0 pockets. 0. It's that, and it's the expressionless, like, oh my God, that is so funny. I'm so mad right now. You don't even understand how much you piss me off. Can you... I can't. It's so hard not to move my face. Can you see how fucking mad I am right now? Survivorship bias, very much so, yeah. I'm glad for my size when it comes to cars. I can drive pretty much anything. Oh my God. I feel like I'm climbing out of a clown car out of most cars. It's hilarious. I am. I'm on the quest for the mighty pocket. I will get pockets one day. I'll die with a pocket. I put on a sweater yesterday like a modern Mr. Rogers just to have pockets. Yes, I have Flannels. When I'm like walking around the house and doing stuff and I'm not like just planted in front of my space heater, I have flannels. I have my grandpa's flannel, but I have a couple flannels and they have fucking tit pockets. They're the best. I love those things so much. I wanted to link to you for a while, but murder? That's all I see in the thing. Murder. What is it? It's a map of Oh. I'd tour the fuck out of that. I listen to a lot of murder. It's a little much. I think Zeke came out, this was like 3 nights ago. It was right after movie night. And genuinely, like right after movie night, I usually go do a couple chores and then I sit down and play a game for an hour or something. And I was listening to a podcast and I didn't even hear him. And all of a sudden I just hear, do you ever have nightmares? No. Not about murder. Ants, I wish. I've never lived anywhere where it's possible to not have a car. I found a game where I think, I was going to ask you if you found one. Is this, hold on, Explore World of, ooh. It looks cute as fuck. Oh my god, you get to ride a wolf. So no shit, your search got me searching, because I've been genuinely looking for the same hit. Like, you and I have very similar taste in games. Like, I loved Valheim, I loved Eco, Palia, all of those, where it's just like, Palia was okay, it made me talk too much. I just want to like adventure and build and kill and, you know, harvest. And I literally reinstalled Pal World last night because I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, this was the last game I could think of that actually like scratched that itch a little bit. But it's hard to find. Like, there's too many games. I don't know how to even search for what I'm looking for anymore. I have a utility belt like Batman, but I wear it at Burning Man. If you click on the icon, it'll literally give you the report. You know what's crazy is 3 of the main podcasters I listen to are all British. So, like, I bet I know a lot of these murders. I listen to a lot of true crime, like, daily. I bet I know a lot of... I'm going to click one. Let's see. Are these, like... Oh, it's of medieval London, though. Okay, just kidding. I might not know a lot of these. That is a cool map. I'm going to fuck with that. I think I looked at Core Keeper and it was too pixely for me. Hold on. That might be on, like, my wish list or something. That sounds super familiar. Yeah, it's like a top-down builder adventure. I'm looking for more like a first-person, like Valheim. Similar to Valheim, but not Valheim. I have dumped so many useless hours into Valheim. Like, I'm so sick of that game. But something like that is mostly what I'm looking for. Oh my god, yeet. Speaking of fake pockets, check. Enshrouded was great. I just wanted out of early access. Like, I'm just done. I literally, like, I cleared that fucking game. How many hours did I put in that game? It's a good one, though. If you didn't play Enshrouded or you haven't, that one is similar to what we're talking about. Enshrouded was good. How much time did I put into Enshrouded? A lot. But I cleared it. I just got to a point where there's nothing to do anymore because that's it. Why are you being stupid, Steam? Don't fuck with me like this. 257 hours. I dumped a lot of fucking... I've looked on Steam and it didn't say there was an update. It just said, like, since the last time I played, I haven't seen a big update. But it's possible. Maybe I'll have to get back into it, because that game was really fun. Really good building mechanisms. Really, really good. And I liked the, like, your little crafters that you have in your house. I genuinely do not remember the last time I played. Last played September 9th of 2024. So not that long ago. But Yeetskis, I was going to show you this. So this is a jacket I've had for a bit. But I took it out to wear it in New York because it was fucking freezing. And I noticed this. So if you've ever sewed before, you know how fucking difficult it is to sew in a metal zipper. Not only did they put in the effort to sew in a metal zipper, but they did it over a fake pocket. Like there's nothing there. Twice. Like it's my eternal struggle. Why would you yeah. It's just like it's the lowest common fucking denominator. I don't understand what you're fucking doing. Like, what is your goal? Why with the fake? I mean, you put in the effort to put in a functional zipper and didn't just sew a sack of material onto it to give me a tit pocket. Putting that sack of material on the inside is easier than the zipper if you don't sew, just an FYI. Zippers are a pain in the fucking ass to put in. It's so stupid. It's not difficult. The problem is that most jackets are lined with like a sateen or something like that, which when you cut it, it frays instantly and it's almost impossible to seam back in. So if I cut into that sateen to put a pocket in, it's going to fray. So it's like at a point where it's like, do I care enough about this $30 jacket to put another pocket in, or should I just go get a nice leather jacket or pleather jacket? Arlene Fraser, Aesthetic zippers are such nonsense, especially when they actually work. It's a damn matchbook pocket. It is. It's a lighter pocket. It's a perfect pocket. It's an earbud pocket, but there's no pocket. Their goal is pain. Their goal is to drive me nuts. I know. I've been the times not one person has complimented me in this jacket. I just want to throw that out. Not one person has been like, "Wow, that looks nice." It's you look like Michael Jackson. Are you Thriller? Do you beat it? Star-Lord. I have the nicest friends, let me just tell you. But I don't care. I like it. So fuck them. Brocade fucking sucks. It is like sewing hair. Like if you imagine just lining up a bunch of strands of hair and trying to sew that together for like a weave. It's hard. It's horrid. Horrid. Man, yesterday fucked up my mouth and now I can't remember how to talk. Yeah, that's what it's like, because it's constantly stretches and pulls apart and you can see the fibers moving the entire time. I guarantee there's some kind of special sewing machine for it that I don't have. I've tried a walking foot, I've tried a not walking foot, I've tried so many different feet. That and brocade satin, or spandex can all go fuck itself. Like, I'm on a hard halt on my fucking Jinx cosplay because I just cannot. I don't know how to do the pants. Like, I'm stuck. You'd maybe a serger. I've never worked with a serger, so genuinely don't even know what they can do. Oh, she was murdered? That's sad. I'd remember that one, because that name is close. I'm trying to decide if I want to take a break from arting today or play games. Are you enjoying arting? Please take your joy. Horrible. It should. We have Terabad. Why not horrible? I have overlocking feet. Like, sergers are great. You don't necessarily need one. I don't know. I'm very much like that. I don't need the expensive thing. I can make it work with what I have. So, like, I have boxes of different feet for the sewing machine I have, which is just like your everyday brother. And they have overclocking feet and stuff like that. But man, those materials, I don't know how to describe to you the fucking sheer frustration of trying to get spandex or one of those fine materials that frays so easily into the overlocking. Even on a serger, you'd have to thread it. You move the material through the serging foot, through the overlocking foot. You still have to feed it through, and that is, I mean, a little upsetting. A little upsetting. Dude, if disassociating and drawing is what brings you joy, I don't like. I find this is what I do. Dream. I'll be like genuinely happy doing something, and the opportunity to do something else, like playing a video game or something, presents itself, and suddenly my brain's like, well, now I don't know what to do because both could be fun, and I don't know which one's better. Even though I was very happy doing whatever I was doing. So sometimes I have to sit with it and be like, I'm really just enjoying what I'm doing. Can I just forget what just popped into my head, please? And I try to shake it. Good morning, BDO. It's a 6-parter. Jesus fucking Christ. The only reason I want to work with Brocade with Brocade to even some extent is for Regency West Coast. I mean, it's an experience in itself, and genuinely, like, if you've ever heard of Bernadette Banner, she's one of my favorite, like, she's actually, like, a historical costumer by trade. That's what she went to school for, but she does all these different kinds of costumes and stuff on her channel, and she does all this sewing and stuff, and she's amazing, and you love her. Okay, good. You know exactly what I'm talking about. She does a shit ton of hand sewing, like hand sewing for brocade corsets and all this kind of crazy stuff. And, like, I really do enjoy hand sewing, and I just thought she did it. Like, I genuinely was like, oh, these people that do historical clothing, like, they hand sew because it's part of the historical part of it. You know what I'm saying? But genuinely, I think it's a big part of it is these materials are just not meant for a sewing machine. Like, unless you have some crazy specific sewing machine or, you know, one of those embroidery ones that you just have free flow over, the only way to sew some of these materials is to hand hold them, fucking overlock them, and then hand sew them up. Because they just slide. Like, they're not meant to be on plastic of a sewing machine or something like that, but, like, that took me a while to try kind of learn that. Or like tweed. If you've ever, I have like sample blocks of tweed that I got on Etsy, and I'm gonna turn them into a blanket. That shit, because it stretches and it moves, and it's kind of like felt at the same time. I'm putting the final touches on my coworker's romper. She looks so good when she tried it on, but I loathe hand sewing. I love hand sewing. I look forward to hand sewing, honestly. There's something, it's kind of like cross stitch a little bit. It's just like, turns my brain off. Good morning, Genova. Ooh, that's a good idea. Eat some breakfast, drink some coffee, of which I'm out of, and that should help. Or, you know, whatever you drink in the morning. That's what I'm working with right now, Yeetskis. No shit. I have, where is it? I have it down here. This stuff. Genuinely, like, heavy, nice, weighted tweed. This is what I say. I go on Etsy all the time because people sell scraps for stupid cheap. So this is just, like, sample scraps of really nice, fucking high quality tweeds. But sewing them is sewing felt, like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's a fucking nightmare, but the material is so fun to play with because it's that, like, you feel the quality in it. It's heavy, it moves really naturally, it feels nice, it's not itchy. Like, it is really fun to play with, but it's, how do I explain it? Like, you know how normal fabric that you're sewing with or whatever is basically threads doing this? And so when you're sewing them, you're microscopically sewing between the threads. This is not that. So while you're sewing it, you might be sewing it and literally just sewing down a line that's all just going to pop right the fuck out. You have no idea because of the way it's weaved together. The weave, is that the word? The weave is so absurd that half the time your stitches just fall out and you have to go back and do another stitch. Like, it's, people that work with this shit are a different breed of human. It's fun. I'm excited to do something with it, but, like, at what cost? My God. I think that's why if you see a lot of a lot of pea coats and shit like that, if you look on the inside of them, oftentimes it'll be, instead of materials sewn together like this, you know, with a normal seam, they're put together like this with another piece of felt, like a strip of felt down, and that felt is sewn onto these two pieces, and that's what's holding it together. like Zach has a pea coat and I had to break it down because it ripped a little bit. And I was looking at the construction of it because it's felt as well. And I was like, that's what they do, because sewing it and creating a normal seam just does not work with this fucking material. Like, it's, I don't know what that's called though, where you put the two just like edge to edge and then put a strip down the middle and you sew that. And that's basically what's locking it on, locking them together. Like, they almost felt like that's exactly, you're gonna have fun. You're gonna have fun. It's really fun. And just like, if you, I mean, you'll know. Like, you get the textiles and you're like, oh. That's what nice, because I mean, most of what I sew with is like cheap scrap fabric or whatever, or like linen that I dye, stuff like that. Just because I'm not a master sewer by any means, and I'm just doing it for funsies. And so when you get a hold of like good quality like materials, you're like, oh. Is it edging? Oh, it smells like sheep's wool. I know it's not called edging. Can we call it edging now? I should really pick up sewing. I've been sort of dreaming of making this historical clothing and stuff, but the prospect is into, oh, it's do it. Have you ever put together like Lego or IKEA? That's it. If you like if you like to follow instructions, you can sew. Genuinely, that's it. Like, it's all following instructions. Following instructions, cut out a pattern, put the pattern on a piece of material, cut the piece of material out. That's it. It's like a puzzle, and when it's together, you're like, it's so weird because you just have all these random ass chunks of material and then you just follow the instructions. Like, literally the patterns will have two pinpoints to show you where they line up. Sew it together, take the patterns off, and you're like, oh my God, did I just make a shirt? It's mind blowing. It's so much fun, but it's, if you just follow, like, I get most of my patterns on Etsy. People make patterns that are just really easy to follow. Like, you can print them out in your exact size. So you're not printing out, one pattern that has a million sizes on it and you're trying to figure out which line to cut. You just put in, like, I'm a size 8, and it'll print out your size 8. So you just cut out your entire pattern. It's fun. It's not that hard. Like, it's like the way I look at Lego. Genuinely, before I ever did a Lego set, I was like, how the fuck? How the fuck do you know how to put that together? And then you do a Lego set and you're like, oh my God, I get it. Because you're just building from the inside out and you're following the instructions. That's all it is. Really. I like knitting, but I think that's just because that's what I was taught first, so I got used to it. Good morning, Viana. Cheers. I fucked my back up, so you're fine. We were all late. I know Crispy said you're hating it. It's really fun. Like, for me, knitting, crocheting, that kind of thing is a lot harder because there's a certain amount of like memory, I guess, associated with it where you're counting stitches, and I lose myself. So, like, when I crochet or knit, I tend to restart a project 20 fucking times because I'll be going and something grabs my attention and then I'm like, oh, fuck. What was that? And I know there's stitch counters. I know I literally, as much as I forget what stitch I'm on, I forget to hit the stitch counter. Like, it drives me crazy. Whereas sewing, like, there's no counting stitches or whatever. It's just like stick your needle in and walk away for a second, come back, keep sewing that same, it's easier, but like, I think you could do it. Same. I hate redoing shit. I have to pull out stitches in every single project. See, how do you, I mean, I guess that's sewing too. I have never sewn something, a project. I've never sewn something without having to whip out my fucking seam ripper and resew it once, at least. Something. Like, I genuinely, even though I'm following the instructions perfectly, like, my ADHD brain takes over and puts two pieces together wrong. That has happened so many times. But it's like, how do I say this? I'm not trying to flex on sewing. Like, for real, it just, I think it's like one of the, like, cheating crafts. Because you're just handed instructions. Whereas most craft or art or whatever, it's like creativity. Like, you do it's more open-ended. But with sewing, it's like a baking recipe. If you like baking, you can sew. It's do this, then do this, then do this. You put A and B together, sew this line right here, boom, you got it. There's no room for error. There's no room for improvisation. You're not expected to improvise in any way, shape, or form because you'll fuck it up. So it reminds me of baking a little bit in that it's like relaxing for me because I don't have to think while I do it. The most annoying part about sewing is having the room to do it. Like having the space to lay out a pattern and cut it out and shit like that. That sucks. But you garden and shit, you could do it. Genuinely, like you can look up patterns like circle skirt, for instance, which is like one of the most cheaty patterns in the entire world, where it's literally like get a square of fabric and you can make a skirt, and there's like 2 cuts involved. There are cheat code patterns all over the place, but really, like for me personally, I'm not one to be like, I'm gonna do this easy pattern that's pointless and I'm never gonna wear it just to learn. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna learn how to make a corset. And that's just what I did. And it's no shit. Corsets are easier than most clothing items I've ever made. Which is crazy to say, but they genuinely are. It just takes trying it once. I don't know. I had to, like, my mom taught me how to sew when I was in high school because going and trying to find dresses for a 6-foot body in the year 2002 was not going to happen. So I had to sew my own clothes. But yeah, the instructions make it almost foolproof a little bit. Excuse me. It's frustrating, but I always learn something from it. See, I just learned that I can't count. My gran who crocheted, her 2 older sisters would make her start blankets for them because of the counting. I hate it. When they're making the Apollo spacesuits, they had to sew a huge number of layers, and they couldn't use a seam ripper because that would leave holes. Oh my god. No shit. Only the ladies from the Playtex bra company had the skills. I believe that. I believe that. What up, Vex? So my mom has literally, like, in their house, they have this room that has, like, glass doors on it that I think is supposed to be, like, a royal dining room or something. It's my mom's sewing room. And there are so many boxes of patterns, and they're McCall patterns and shit. It's wild. I've got a 6-foot long table. Oh my god, empty floor space, a mostly empty shed. What I want to make is something like a linen tunic and pants. Oh my god, you could do it! A cloak, just historical stuff that's stupid expensive to buy, and I kind of want the satisfaction of having made it by myself. Oh, it's crack. That... You can do it. I challenge you. That's your 2025 challenge. Like, just, I'm, again, not a flex, but the things you want to make, like a tunic, child's play. Like, there's no curves to it. There's no, like, oh, this part has to fit a certain part of the body at all. Like, it's a sack. That would be a great place to start. You could so fucking do that. It's just like, how do you not lose count, Dream? That's my problem. Like, how I'm forgetful no matter what. So it's like either I'm losing count or I'm forgetting to hit the little counter because everyone's like, get one of those little knit counter things. I just don't have the brain for it. I too need to crochet again, but I have a thing about the feel of the yarn, the way the crochet needles will make squeaky sounds sometimes. Oh my god, you just need to get a different kind of yarn. I hate that too. That tends to be synthetic yarns. Like lower quality synthetic yarns, which unfortunately is what they encourage you to practice on. Welcome, Green Days, and thank you for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. It's wonderful to see all of you. You're watching something and somehow still keeping count? I don't know how you do that. That's what fucking gets me. Is I start watching something and then I'm like, oh, fuck. And I have no idea what my count was at and I'm gone. It's just done. It fucking drives me nuts. I just want a better brain. Yeah, the squeaking drives me crazy too. I fucking cannot stand it. I would just get a different yarn. Like, really find any kind of yarn. Bring your hook and literally like sit there and kind of jerk it off on the yarn at the yarn store or whatever and make sure it doesn't squeak. That tends to be synthetic cheaper yarns though. Take your fucking joy.
Did you take your joy today? Never forget to take your joy And I guarantee your day will go as smooth as velvet.
You use stitch markers? Do you use like those little plastic safety pin things? Because I have a bunch of those. I've just never, again, I don't remember to use them. I'm grinding my joy. Yeah. Yeah, you're a magician. I'm so jealous of whatever your brain can do that it can keep count. I mean, maybe this is it. So Kaki has that thing where she can't hold images in her head. Like she literally can't picture things. So maybe her gift is the counting instead. Maybe it's a trade-off. Same vial or like styrofoam in a cardboard box. It's the fucking worst. I hate that I even said it, and I'm so sorry because it made my skin crawl. We're all crawling now. Is it aphantasia? Is that part of it? Maybe that's part of it. Like, I can hold images in my head, but I can't hold a count for the fucking life of me. It's not a trade for me. I can't picture things, and I can't not do the count. Boo. See, I wonder, is that me too? Bamboo hooks are really nice. Yeah, bamboo hooks are really nice. I have a set of walnut hooks or walnut knitting needles actually. Nerd shit that I love. I don't know where they are, but I have them. Why? Oh, that's why. Stop that. My light turned off, sorry. I've always found it hard to get all the colors I need for cross stitching. Cross stitching is like embroidery, right? That's like the same thing. I found pretty good luck at Michael's. I don't know if Michael's is also going out of business. But they tend to have a decent amount. I mean, it's not great, but I've found like good quality, decent thread there, which is nice. Oh yeah, so cross stitches is like you can follow a pattern more, right? Whereas embroidery is more like you draw something on the fabric. Embroidery is what I do. I think it's more like freeballing it. You just kind of like freeballing. Yeah, that's what I do. I think I'd like I always want to say recipe, but the instructions probably would be better. I had to change the list. It got sleepy. Don't be sleepy on me. Not today. Raw dog stitching. Yeah, I was trying to think. I have a project going, but I don't know what I don't know. I think it's in a bin. Somewhere. I reorganized. Now I don't know where any of my craft shit is. Other than sewing. I know where sewing stuff is. It's right there. What's the difference between cross stitching and embroidery? My mom wants to do cross stitching. Cross stitching is where you still have like the ring or the frame or whatever, and you put your material of choice in there. Usually it's a specific kind of canvas material because it's wider gauge, so you can actually see, because with cross stitching, you have a pattern you're following. So it's like square by square by square, kind of like pixels, like sewing in pixels of a picture a little bit, and you're doing little X's. Embroidery is like, you can take tracing paper and like trace something and then transfer it onto the material if you want, but it's mostly literally kind of winging it, like drawing something onto some material, putting it into that frame tightly, and then sewing it in, like painting with thread. A little bit. Morning Rage. It is kind of, it is. It's a little bit raw done because you don't really have like, it's painting with thread. I don't know how else to put that. I think that's about it. It's painting with thread. I have a project somewhere and I just packed it away. It's basically one cool thing about embroidery. I think you could probably do this with cross stitch too. Tom, have this. You're welcome. Thank you so much for subbing to the class. Keeping the class alive and giving it anus. Its wings for so fucking long. 53 goddamn months. That's a long goddamn time. Thank you. Go forth and be consensual in all the ways, because nothing in this world is sexier than pure sober consent. You can basically like take a piece of material and you can embroider, like thickly embroider something onto that material, and then you can cut it out and have like a solid because of the amount of thread you use. And then you can put like, what's it called? Interfacing on the back or something like that kind of solidifies it. And so I have a project going where it's moth wings and a moth body. So I'm going to like embroider it all and then cut them out of the material. And then I'll have like solid you know what I'm saying? It'll be cool. Hopefully. 20 degrees feels nice after negative 18. Yeah, it's like in the teens today, and it like feels delightful, even though I know that's not warm. It's still in the teens. Yeah. It's not nice out. Oh, they love this shit. They're like snow bunnies in it. I'm gonna try to buy her a cross stitching kit, and every time I look, I get embroidery results as well. I don't know what the difference was. A cross stitching kit will come with a pattern. Hold on. I don't think I've ever done cross stitching. I think I just went straight into embroidery. Okay, so this is it gonna show the right one? Oh my god, that's like 3 days in a row. What the fuck is happening? So you know how I was talking about the gauge of material? This is cross stitching. So literally, it's stitching with crosses. Cross. Little tiny mini crosses into each square gauge of the material you're cross stitching into. This is cross stitching. You're kind of like using the gauge of the material you're sewing into to give you an like follow a pattern, if that makes sense. So if you look at it and it looks like that is cross stitching. Ye old pixel art. Genuinely, it's like the first form of pixel art. It's just on material. There's a really, really, really easy. That's like the smallest, most basic. That is cross stitching. Voices. Embroidery is like that. It's just a piece of material and a bunch of like shit sewn onto it in any which way they want. But it's kind of, it's harder to learn with, I think, without having like someone to do it with, because you're just given too much freedom. Like they're like, hey, just paint with thread. What the fuck does that even mean? Like there's not really a recipe to follow, if that makes sense. But they're really, I mean, embroidery is insane what people do with it. Like they embroider paintings. I don't know. I am not this talented by any means, but embroidery is really cool. I think cross stitching leads to embroidery a lot of the time, but they're definitely different. I want to literally is a word now. No, that's real. Just paint with thread, bro. It's whatever. You just take that thread and fucking like paint with it. Cheers. It's 28 here. I'm like, it's nice out. Yeah, that's how I opened the door this morning for the dogs, and I was like, oh my god, I didn't need like my leg warmers today. It must be in the 40s. It was 15 degrees. Disgusting. Growing up, the two best things about snow were no school, watching the poods be fucking nutty in it. Dude, I took a video and put it on Blue Sky the other day of them. They love it for like 10 minutes because they're so hairy right now. Their feet get caked in that powder. And then they start doing that like floppy duck walk because their feet are like growing with the snow. And then they don't want to be out there anymore. It lasts about 10 minutes, but they're getting groomed tomorrow. So they'll either hate it because it's freezing or they'll love it because it doesn't kick up on their feet. I don't know which way it's going to go. Genuinely, I have no idea. Zach Pinsent. I'm really bad at knowing names, but it's possible. I never had a snow day. My school, I don't know if they still, I have no idea if they're still in this streak, but my high school and middle school, like the school district I was a part of, like loved to like jerk themselves off to the fact that they hadn't had a snow day in 17 years when I was in high school. And I remember one year the snow was really fucking bad and we caught the bus on the way to school, and like 2 bus stops up the road, there was this like incline curve. So basically you went up and around like that. And the bus started doing this and then just went like boop and just started going backwards, just sliding down this fairly steep incline curve thing into a ditch. And we all just rode it out. All the kids were like, whoa! And then when it fell into the ditch, we were like, yeah, do we get to go home? No, they just sent another bus. Cheers. Not us. It's fucking dumb. I don't understand the pride of just like no snow days. Fuck yourselves. 100%. I mean, that could be a case of it too. Like they genuinely, like, this is it now. They're the perfect dog because they really only have that 10 minutes of fuck yeah, let's fucking go! And then it's over. And then they sleep. She looks like she's a chicken in a heat lamp. I know here in the K, when you drive, there was drive to end snow days because the facility of online learning that came with the pandemic. Ooh. I hope it died a death too, because yuck. Energy to nope in the space of a heartbeat. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Now they're done. What amazes me nowadays is if we have any inclement weather is how many parents don't let their kids go to school even if school isn't canceled. They want to keep their kids home. My brain went to many different places. A, what? B, what a privileged life that does the parent not work? That they are just home with their kids all the time? Like, what a blessing. No one was in my house that was an adult between the hours of 5 a.m. and 7 p.m. The concept of that is wild to me. I know. She's dreaming of rickets. Those 10 minutes are extreme happiness. That's why I suffer. I hate it. I hate being cold. And I'm cold all the fucking time. But I suffer the cold because look at them. Look at that. And the snake. I haven't got my rats in the mail yet because of this fucking weather. So my snakes are very hungry. That is interesting. I feel like I'm not saying my parents wanted to get rid of us. But if they had a day off, they did not want us staying home with them. They didn't want us staying home from school. Like, they had time to fuck in their own house or whatever parents do. I don't fucking know. Oh, Rod, that's beautiful. Like, but do you not agree that that's a huge blessing? Like, that's such a privilege. Not everyone has that privilege. Like, that's wild. My parents weren't there when we went to school. So, like, if the weather was shitty, we just hoped the bus showed up. It always did because, 17 years of no snow day. But, like, crazy. I can't even. Wild. Last time we had a risk of tornadoes, my son told me only 5 students of 21 students came to school that day. 5. Wild. Would you want a day off with a bunch of crotch goblins home, bored, and wanting stuff? No. And as much as I love what I'm sure everyone loves their children, that doesn't mean you don't need alone time. You don't need like sanity time to be your own human for a while. The only time I was off school was when I was really sick, which was never the same. We didn't get snow days or anything like that. Like, I got a day off from school if my parents wanted to go on vacation. But if I was sick, it was like, are you dying? Show me where it hurts. Go to school. Okay. Like, you just didn't, but if my parents wanted to do something, then I get a day off, which was fine. In his class, I meant not the entire school, but you get it. No, 100%, that's still crazy. I assumed the class because 5 out of the entire school is crazy, but 5 out of the entire class is insane. What the fuck? More people showed up to school on 9/11. Like, the day it happened. The middle U.S. had so many incidents of tornadoes hitting with kids in school and schools being destroyed. Wow. Schools aren't built. Is anything built to withstand a tornado? Is that a stupid question? The last time they canceled school for me was because the temperatures were in the negatives. That's crazy. I was one of those perfect attendance kids until like junior high, and I think it was due to the flu. I was not. I think my three older brothers all got truanted at one point. I know my older sisters did. One of them dropped out. I think I'm the first. Wait. I think I'm the first of all my siblings to graduate high school. Huh. Good job. You did it, Katie. You want to know something super weird? Zeke was an actual super perfect attendance kid who, and crazy, he genuinely went to school extra. Like when he was in high school, he signed up to take classes before school actually started and still maintained perfect attendance. And like straight A's. I say that because he's back that way. He's down that hall over there. Wild. Like I was so not that kid, and I would any excuse not to go to school. I was like, yes. How? I think just anxiety. I don't know. I can count on one hand how many snow days we had during school. Back then, if they closed for a snow day, the day got tacked onto the end of the year. That's what they told us they would do, which is why we never had snow days. I think it was more on not wanting to be home. I understand. That's why I had so many jobs. I had a lot of jobs in school. It hasn't actually snowed here for 4 years. My nephew has only ever had 2 snow days in his 10 years of life. I think it's wow, weird. Most of the newer buildings in Oklahoma have some sort of shelter or safe place. It just depends. We don't have a storm shelter at home. Most people don't. So I view the kids being safer at school. I would think so too. Also, just in my experience, schools tend to be made out of like brick and stuff. Like just heavier materials that you would think would be harder. But I've never lived in tornado area. I have no idea. My attendance in the last 2 years of high school was like 50%. Anxiety and depression wiped me as a teenager. Man, it has interesting results on different people. Let me tell you. My sanity time is nearly non existent. Wifey's away for work and won't be back till June. She's been gone since last year. Jesus. That sucks. Oh, when she gets back, she never has to be away like that again? Fuck yes. That's a win then. Hard while it's happening now. Jesus. We haven't had a white Christmas since I was like 15 ish. Wow. Wow. Really? I think I've gotten snow everywhere I live. Even Baltimore got snow. We definitely got cold. Cold as fuck. Bill. Please excuse my whore dog. He's so cute though. I don't want any more. Please, God, no. I hurt my back shoveling the snow. I'm done now. Dude, Lynn, same. And you know what I've thought about is like, at least when I was in school, we didn't have cell phones or anything. Social media wasn't a thing yet. Like, when I left school, the bullying kind of ended, you know? Like, I could go hide somewhere. Nowadays, kids can't hide from any of it, and I don't know how they live. Like, it's got to be terrible bad. I don't know if this is just NY or something, but we had snow days literally built into the schedule. So if we didn't need to take any, the school year ended early. Wow, that's just smart. Really, David, that is weird. My brother helped build a few schools and asked them why brick and cement is high durability, low maintenance, weatherproof, fireproof. That makes sense. It's not. I mean, I think the only thing brick is susceptible to is earthquakes, right? Brick can't do this. Dude, for real. She's so cute. She looks like a deer. Which is funny because when when you get a puppy, they often have like a temporary name. Her temporary name was Fawn. Did you hear us talking about you, Miss Ma'am? How was your nap? Good? Oh, that's a big stretch. That's a big stretch, baby girl. Did you have a good sleepy nap? You look sleepy as fuck. What awoke you? We're being so quiet. She's such a sweet girl. For the pets. And now the energy's back. Yep, she had her hour-ish nap. Oh, that's a big yawn. Oh, it's such a good scratch. Do you see the stuck? Hi, brother. You're so sweet to your sister. You're such a good brother. Do you love her? You love her? Yeah, she's pretty cool. Kind of a bitch, but she's pretty cool. Oh, good morning. How are you today? Good. What? Yep. The licking the mouth thing is definitely like it's like honoring the alpha. As much as we know the alpha's not a thing, you know what I mean? It's like honoring the dominant one. Yeah, we can give them treats. Thank you. Thank you. You licking where your sister scratched the fuck out of my chin? Thank you. Appreciate you. What? You think you get something for being as adorable as you are, my haunted Victorian child? No one can see you now. She's there. There's my girl. Dogs are the best. It's the parent. That's a good way of putting it. Yep. He does that to me. That's why he always tries to lick my mouth. I just don't want it. You're just a sweet boy. I know. That's all you are. Bill, I'm holding her hand. As long as I hold your hand, you're okay, right, Bill? I know. Just just a security blanket. Should we get you a treat? That face. Hi, Miss Ma'am. You want to come say hi too? Hi. How are you? Good. Oh, okay. I don't know. What was the myth about the bacteria? I know their little beards and her this like the way it's just fallen flat now. It looks like sheep hair. It's so soft though. You're so soft, Bill. You just you look. What's that now? You're very cute. I'm just laughing. I'm laughing with you, not at you. Okay, hold on. Let me grab him something. Our cleaner? I mean, our mouths are fucking disgusting. But I don't know if I'd believe it. I know they're hungry. Both snakes are active. I have rats on order, but because of the weather, they have not come in the mail. So both of them they're hunting for nothing because they're idiots. Okay, quick break. I'm gonna go find them a good treat. Go pee your pants. Do what you need to do. I'll be right back. These are fun because I get to give you guys a little anatomy lesson at the same time. So these are bully sticks. If you've never heard of these before, this is a penis of a cow. And they cut them up and dehydrate them, and we use them as dog treats. Dogs love them. They're really low calorie. They are like a chew toy. So if you ever hear someone talk about bully sticks or pizzle sticks, those are dicks. But if you've ever wanted to know what the inside of your dick looks like, it's crazy. So that's the ureter. And then the rest of that tissue, that's the spongy tissue that inflates and like becomes engorged and makes your dick hard. There's no other organ like it in the world. It's fascinating. Of course, this is a cow's dick, so like not the same, and it's dehydrated. But the anatomy of it is always cool to look at, so you can see like the thick tissue versus that crazy spongy tissue. There's nothing like it in the world. It's super weird. You should look at like a bisection of a dick, like a picture of like a drawing, you know what I'm saying? Like don't. Bully sticks. Cameras and urethras are an unpleasant mix. You just have it. I buy it by the bundles. I have the bags. I have pounds of these. I have pounds of cock in my house. They're super cock munchers. They fucking love these things. They're literally, look at this. This is what they're doing. Look at my good dogs. Look at them. They're just so good. Mother, may we have some? Look at them. Bill will shake for me. Can you shake? Oh, that's a good girl. Trick will not shake. You down? Oh, that's a good boy. His trick is down. He's never his trick. Now they just look like they're smoking stogies. Cock munching on stream against TOS? Possibly. Nah, it's his one thing. He does not like to shake. Like, if I beg, it's the cutest thing, to be honest. You know how they like... I'll show you, hold on. So he sits like this, and Lil, she shakes. She immediately hands up. This is what Trick will do. If I beg, like if I really bug him and he really wants the treat, he does this. He just so delicately, but he keeps his toes on the ground with the one foot, just like this. He's such a delicate little bastard. Literally, it's if I must. That's exactly what it is. He's never been into it, but she does the tricks. And now we will peacefully munch our cocks. That's Zelda 2. The shaking or no shaking? I know, they will, and then no shit. So what he'll do, he usually decimates his first. He gets through his cock pretty fast. She will chew hers down about halfway and then sleeps on it. Just staring at him like... She lays her head on the half-chewed dick and just stares at him, reminding him it's not his. Shake. Please no. Oh, she is. She's absolutely a bitch. She's too smart. I mean, I used to say this about Millie. No, before I had these puppies, I used to say this about Millie. I had a boy and a girl pug. I had Millie, and then I had another boy pug years and years and years ago. And I swear to you, Millie had an intelligence in her eyes. Like when she looked at you, she was thinking about you and figuring you out. The boy pug was just like, oh, same. It's like it's not even a case of like we deem intelligence as bitchy. She's just too smart for her own good. It's their favorite. Exactly. Just gave the puppy a bone from the butcher. Those are their favorite. Oh my god. I'll get marrow bones and they'll chop them up into like circles, and freeze them, and I give them to them in the winter time or in the summertime because it helps cool them down. They fucking love those too. Yeah, he might have just stopped to lick his own dick while chewing a dick. It's whatever. I know. I'm pissed because their rats haven't come in the mail. Both of them now are hunting. It's kind of cool for you guys because you get to see them. Because once I feed them, you're not going to see them again for a month. Once you feed them, they quite literally coil up against their heaters, and they sit there for like 3 weeks, digesting. So this is, it's like your one chance to actually get to see them. And then after I feed them, maybe I'll be able to take one out and show you guys. Bastards. Mm-mm-mm. So what you're seeing right here is his belly. His body is this long tube going back. You can kind of tell he's like black, brown and tan kind of. She's an albino. So she's absolutely very pale yellow and white. But he's like doing this at you and doing a circle back. Bastards, I know. It's just the weather. Up here, living in the mountains, when we get weather like this, our mail gets really fucked up. So I have it. And the rats, local rat, like I've told you guys, the rats they eat are easily the size of my water bottle. And the ones that my pet store sells are like this big, and it's just too much. So I ordered them. They almost look like they're doing it in sync now. I know. I'm hoping I can feed them with you guys. I thought that'd be fun because I don't feed live. Just so everyone knows, I don't feed live at all. I get frozen rats. So it's not an experience of like live feeding or anything creepy like that. But because they're right there, I mean, you could see them and grab it and what, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty cool. I just gotta get them in the mail. They're not defrosting in this weather. That's for fucking sure. Nah, yeah, I don't do live. For many, many reasons, but the most important that I think is because it's very dangerous for the snake. Like genuinely, the rats that I feed them, I'm not exaggerating, their body is this big. No, not tail included. Their body is that big. They're enormous. And so you can imagine how big the teeth are on a rat like that, and all the claws and all the sharp angles. So if a snake strikes and misses, there is a chance that rat will literally just disembowel the snake. I've seen it. Not my snakes. I've seen it. I've seen this on snake channels and people who own snakes, stuff like this is actually a thing that happens. So if they can eat a frozen thawed, why even risk that shit? Also, putting a rat in a stressful environment, in a stressful situation like that right before it's going to die just seems unnecessary. Why? I thaw them overnight in a bowl of water. The big ones that I get them, I genuinely have to thaw them overnight in like a big old tub of water, and then the next morning I'll fill that water full of like warm water and kind of start rotating it and slowly bring the rats back up to like room temperature and then like a body temperature, and then I feed them. These two guys are so unpicky. Like when I say they have a high feeding response, like they will go for anything moving in their cage. So they're not that bad versus this one up here. She's a little bit pickier. She's a little bit of a bitch. You know what's funny, Glut? I don't know if it's like taste preferences or what the fuck. But before I went to Burning Man, I went to that pet store, the local one, and they didn't have any rats at all. And they were like, "We have a frozen rabbit. Do you want to try?" And I was like, "Fuck it." They gave it to me at cost or whatever. And I was like, "I'll try." And it was the same size as the rats I get now, and they wouldn't touch it. Like Rod was house sitting. He had to drag the gross rabbit out, and then the snake got out. You guys know that whole shebang. They wouldn't touch the rabbit. Like they struck it, they wouldn't eat it. So that was a waste and sad. But the rats are just as big and genuinely almost look exactly the same. But I don't know if it's like a smell thing, if like that's rats now. But I've never in my life seen rats bigger than this place that I order them online. I brought them out on stream one day and showed stream because they are a loaf. They're huge and they're white like my water bottle too, which is creepy. It's kind of sous videing. It's a little bit like that, a little bit. It's a little fucked up. It's gross. It's the worst part about owning a snake. Overall, these are like the most low maintenance pets. Seriously. They shit like once a month. They eat once a month. You give them water and heat and they're good to go. Like they don't need to be interacted with. They don't really care to. They don't really like to be interacted with. Like they're just reptiles. But man, what they eat is gross. It is. It's unnecessary suffering for the rat and potential death for your snake. And now you have a pet rat. Like, what do? You just have a rat now? I'm good. Wait, you actually have to inventory the frozen rats and mice? And crickets? No, you have to count crickets? Shut up. That's disgusting. Name it Squeakers. What happened to your snake? I have a rat now. Yeah, but what happened to your snake? I have a rat now. This is Squeakers. No, and that's the rat ball. Oh my god. Ew. Okay, so this is yuck. So snakes have this lovely habit, lovely want to shit in their water. So they literally find their water bowl, coil their ass up in it, and take enormous dumps in the water. And that's imagine just like eating your cereal and someone's like, "Oh my god, no, not that bowl." That's not the poop knife. There are two forks in the drawer that are not for humans. They have the wrong mouth hand feel, so I use them exclusively for wet cat food. Does everyone else know about that? Wet cat food's not as bad. Honestly, I wouldn't be upset if you were like, "Oh, that's the wet cat food spoon." I'd be like, "Okay." But if you were like, "That's the bowl my snake has wild forearm-sized diarrhea in," as I was eating cold cereal out of it, I don't know what I would do. Die? Is that just when we die? Dude, for real. No shit, that's exactly where my brain went. Like wet cat food is essentially liverwurst. Like that's food. Oh no shit. Oh, so they're like universally just wrong silverware. Dude, it would be like self-destruct on the inside. I like liverwurst too. Again, why I wouldn't be bothered by the cat food bowl, spoon, fork. He's almost done. Crazy. Assuming it's washed, yeah. Oh my god, imagine if it was just the bad mouth feel. That's so unfortunate. Hot swapping with the cat? No. No. Oh, no. No, thank you, please. Fuck off. I had a neighbor as a kid. They were weird. Let's just start with that. But she would share her ice cream with her dog. She had like one of those little lassie dogs, the little short ones. Sheltie? Yeah. And she would like, but like openly and like look you in the eye. So she'd be like, that's the sharing it. The dog would then be like, and then she'd be like, it was fucking, and us just sitting on the sidewalk with our popsicles, like, it was, not a border collie, the little one. Border collie's the big one, right? I thought that was actual Lassie, because there's Lassie and then there's like little Lassie. Fluffles, quit hogging the fork. I need a cat named Fluffles now. Also, I agree. Why wouldn't you just weigh crickets? There was this one pet store inventory I participated in where the owner of the store said these treats and food are about to expire. They're human safe. Would you like to try? I did try the blueberry treats, but a coworker of mine tried the salmon skin. When presented with the option? You chose salmon skin. All right. Yeah, we can try a new song. Pause. Ooh, this looks. What the fuck? Yeah. Is that a head? Where's the disclaimer? I see lyrics, song credits, video credits. Where is it? Where is it in the video? That's a real okay. That's yep. Sick. Thank you. That's a head where you're gonna so there is a human head. Yep, it's there. Vile said probably a tattoo of potato salad with raisins in it. I can't believe you've done this. I can't believe you. I've never seen a tattoo of an orchid, but I was a bridesmaid in a wedding where orchids were the flower. Purple orchids, actually. They were really pretty. Did you know that the orchid is the like vanilla, like a vanilla bean is the only edible orchid in the world? Vanilla. Crazy. Orchids are cool. I genuinely love roses. My grandpa had a huge fucking rose garden when I was a kid, but I couldn't even tell you how many roses I have tattooed on my body. There's too many. They're up my body. I got so many. It's so fucking. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, vanilla beans, the only edible orchid in the entire world. Crazy. Orchids are gorgeous. I've never put raisins in a potato salad either. I don't think I've ever made a potato salad. I'm gonna be honest. I have a double infinity symbol on my hip and I have an actual personal reason behind it, not because it's popular. Same. I have actual real reasons behind all the roses on my body that are dark and also not dark, like my grandpa's garden. It just so happened we were part of that era where it became like part of the zeitgeist. Unfortunately. Wait, raisins and stuffing? I've never been able to keep an orchid alive. I tried to own one a couple times. When I worked at Lowe's, they would always be on the sale rack because they die so fast in the Lowe's environment that every once in a while I would try one and they were just dead. They were just dead. They would just die. It's so sad. All of hers died while she was in the hospital though, and my sister, oh, they're sensitive. They're kind of like borderline an air plant. I bet Vissy could raise orchids because she does the air plant thing. Or is it spider plants? She does plants that you can literally like take clippings off of. Yeah, they're really picky. Like you can't just move them. Yeah. You have to feed orchids a special feed. Yeah. I have two plants. One's like an evergreen little pine tree thingy, and the other one is a ZZ plant. Those are impossible to kill. What's a Burns night? What's Burns night? Like release the hounds? Burns? What's a Burns night? I can't remember the last time I ate a potato salad. I don't like mayonnaise. So, like, if you offer me a bowl of a starch that is like bathing in mayonnaise, I'm just gonna no thank you on that. Swift pass. Swiftly passing. Not a white cream. Just not in, it's white. It's so gross. I don't know even know what, it's disgusting. Yeah, I don't like mayo. It's weird. I never have. It's vinegary and wet and squishy, and I just not a fan. It's a celebration of Scotland's most popular Scottish poet, Robert Burns. Oh, fuck, he got an entire day? Good for him. I like southern potato salad. Is it mayo? Mayo, mustard, relish, onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, but not as much. See, that's the key. Like, if I can't tell it's swimming in mayo, I'd probably try it. But, like, if it's like, I'm just absolutely not going to touch that. She had this vining plant that she did let vine out, just kept wrapping around a trellis in its pot. I brought it home and I'm slowly untangling the vines. I'm hoping they straighten out with time. It's still alive. What is it? You should I don't know if you can do it, but my phone came I think all phones just have this now. That like Google image feature where you can take a picture and Google will search that picture and figure out what it is cuz I like plants that can't die. Google Lens, is that what it is? Yeah, you should Google Lens it. I love me a plant that can't die. That's my favorite. Okay, so I didn't run an ad when I went and got the dog treat, so we need to take a quick break and run an ad to get out of the way. But I think Vissy said she's already in Discord, so I'm gonna get Discord open and stuff. And then, as is proper, it is Borderlands Day, and I think we're like on the final mission today. I think we're gonna beat the game ish. I think we are. It's a fairly long mission, but I think we're gonna do that. We're around it, and then afterwards we're going in. We figured it out last time, but it's like you have to go back into the game as plus something, Borderlands Plus or something. Like take the same character, go back into the game, and then we can do the Lord of the Rings quest, right? Or do we have to play the entire game to get there again? Because I do want to do the Lord of the Rings quest where we kind of have to like limp up of a hill with a ring. New Game Plus. Thank you. Yeah, NG Plus. Yep. Which I would like to do. Get an aquarium. You'll never forget to water them. You know what I do? Because I'm a weirdo. I refill. Like, if this has water in it at the end of the day, I have to pour it out because it's stale and it's been there all day. It has ice in it because I just filled it. But I pour it into my plants. And then they just have water. They don't care if it's stale water. The trick with orchids is the leaves, when they get between a dark and bright green and they're crisp like a pickle. Ooh, I love that. Crisp like a pickle. If you broke them, they're happy. If you have a living moss on top of their loose absorbent soil, the moss and the leaves will always tell you when they need to be watered. They normally live in the armpits of trees. Yeah, they're like bromeliads, kind of. Right, Silver? A true Vault Hunter and Ultimate Vault Hunter modes or something like that. That's what it is. Yeah, I couldn't remember. There's like specific modes to Borderlands. That, you know, Borderlands specific modes or whatever. And that's what they are. So that's hopefully what we can do today. I don't know. But then we all own all the other games. So if you're like, I love Borderlands Sundays, like, I'm sad that's going away. Please don't be sad, because we have 2, if not 3 more games. There's Borderlands 3, pre-sequel. What's the other one? It's 3 more games, right? Borderlands 3, pre-sequel, Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Yes, I knew that there had to be 3 more because each one of us haven't played one of them. So I think I've never played pre-sequel, Knives hasn't played 3 or Tiny Tina, and then Vissy is vice versa, hasn't played one of those. So each one of us is we've all played up to 2. Up to 2. Mm-hmm. Now it's like one of us will have a new experience. So if we beat the game today and we get to jump in one of the other games, I should install it. What is the next game? We should install that. We should have done that before today. I didn't even think about it. I do ask no spoilers. I know that the franchise is relatively old and it's been around for a while, but genuinely, like, I have not played this franchise in so fucking long. A lot of it I don't remember and or haven't played. So, pre-sequel is the next one. That's the one we should play, and that I'm pretty positive we checked and we all own all of them right now, right? Pre-sequel. Borderlands pre-sequel. I don't remember if I've played it or not. I can't remember which one I haven't played, but I know I haven't played one in the series, if not 2 of them. Okay, quick break. Load your bowls. Grind your weed. Tammy will come for you. Stretch. Get a beverage. I'm going to run an ad and get it the fuck out of the way, and I'll be right back. Brr, I know I always say that. It's always cold. Big shock. Fucking brr. 5 total? No shit. Oh, Tales of Borderlands isn't a group game, though. We're not going to play that together. That's just like that's a click whatever game, right? That's like how do you describe those? I played the Wolf Among Us one or whatever, the Wolf one. Telltales. Those are amazing games. I might play one of those like one of the other days. Because I haven't played it. That being said, I don't own that one. My gun was stuck on my controller. Okay. Discord should still be routed correctly. Let's see.
Nessus without the Airy.
Right.
Can you guys hear them?
It was a lot of fun.
keep
I
talking.
played because it was free.
Tell us about your foot, and I'll test audio while we hear about the gash. I have to hear this story. I just saw the tweet, and I was like, Jesus Christ.
What did you do to your foot?
Nothing on it's just, I swear our lives mirror each other. Like, it's so stupid.
You know what had happened?
You know. I'm sorry.
We
Go on.
gave the pups a bath this morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
And after the bath, husband and I were talking about co-op games like the Nessus, whatever the fuck this game was called, because it was fun and we wanted to play more games like it. And Reese is laying across the door, kind of, and I'm gonna walk across like his arms in front of his face.
Of
course. You know, thinking even if he goes to stand up, it's just his legs. It's fine, right?
Yeah.
My right
I don't
foot,
think it was fine though. I'm not getting that vibe.
you know.
I'm sorry. I'm not.
It was not.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. Go on.
I step right on like the edge of the carpet and where the tile meet, and apparently that was in that one very nice spot that there was apparently a nail sticking up.
No.
And I did not. I stepped and he started to stand, which caught onto my robe that I was wearing and tugged it a little. And so as I was stepping with my left, trying to pull my right and catch myself, my right foot slides a bit and catches on that, and I go to pull myself forward, and then my leg hits the lip in our wall where like we have this little micro hallway. My leg hits the wall, then my shoulder hits the wall, and then I fall to the ground. No head or face. It is
Fucking
I caught myself.
well,
Kind of.
good.
Not really. I didn't catch
There's
myself.
that. The
I
little
just-
things.
with my special brain, we cannot have brain injuries.
No, hitting our head is not what we're allowed to do. But so you dragged your foot like across the nail then.
A little bit, yeah. There's about an inch of a gash below my pinky toe
Oh
on
my
like that nice ball of the foot.
Right where you put all the weight of your foot every time you take a
Yeah.
step anywhere and walk.
Oh yeah. So my foot kind of caught on that nail, and the husband saw the entire thing.
Was
he
it
was
like
far
in
enough-
slow motion for him? I bet it was like watching
Yeah.
something out of a fucking cartoon movie.
And he was like, first he was like, "Are you okay?" And then he's like, I don't want to be an asshole and laugh, but watching that happen.
No, I mean, I would do the same. Like, I would be like, oh my God, are we okay? And then I would be like, okay, once we're okay, now I have to laugh.
And
That is
then
comical.
He followed with bubble.
Bubbles.
Padded walls. We need to start working on those quilted corners.
I mean,
Swiftly.
it's the nail's fault. And also, I'm not the least coordinated person because I was in color guard and I can toss shit up in the air and catch it.
Yeah,
and
but
I
not
can
everyone's
dance and
coordinated with a
perform,
nail
but,
in their
like,
foot, bitch.
Exactly.
When there's
Exactly.
literally a nail currently gashing the ball of your foot, that all bets are off. You're allowed to fall. It's time. It's time to go down.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's you can be like, I've had coordinated as fuck moments where like I should have fallen and my head gets an inch from the ground, but you know how you do that, like that run and get your feet like under your head somehow and catch yourself.
Yes.
I couldn't do that if there was glass in my foot. Are you fucking with me? I'll just be like, oh, it's just down, just done.
Right.
Busy, I'm happy you escaped death because that was the final destination moment for you.
That is
It
oh my
really
God.
was. It could have definitely. I could have hit like my head on the corner of a bench we have right under our
Bitch,
window.
what
the
if
whole
you
bit.
tripped and hit your head on the nail? Oh my fucking God. Oh my fucking God. Someone needs to get a hammer and go around and check these little floor nails. The fuck?
They're the worst.
My toes are
I-
permanently stuck. I'm like literally in a fucking hernia right now.
And I
Help.
did fall in the shower this
Home
week.
Alone shit. Stop it. You need the duckies.
You fell in the shower.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ow.
so
I caught
bought.
myself.
I don't know if
but-
I told you about these Viscs, because you know I fell recently too, because our lives mirror each other and dislocated my shoulder and shit. So I bought the little duckies to put on your like bath, you know, whatever, so you don't slide. You're supposed to leave them for 48 hours. Like no one can shower for 48 hours.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
What do you do?
You shower
We
anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
So,
I would sit there and
well,
hit him with a
what you
blow
do-
dryer or something. I don't know.
yeah, I would just dry the tub as soon as you get out of the shower. Dry it as well as you dry it with
Yeah,
the-
like with a blow dryer or
immediately.
something. Yeah.
Put them down then and let them sit until tomorrow when you take your shower because that's at least the most amount of time it's probably
That's-
gonna get.
That's it. Like I can't go that long without a shower. I would go fucking insane. But it's like, oh, they won't adhere if you something. I'm like, who the fuck? These are rich people duckies. Who has more than one shower bathroom?
Right?
Rich people duckies. 5-second shower, basic training style. I can't do that. It takes me more than 5 seconds to like get the shampoo out of the bottle. Cheers is. And drink soup. I'll see you on Tuesday. Was that a doorbell? Someone better not be fucking ringing on my channel.